Okay, great. Jean-Luc, do you want to say something so they can check too?
I am too timid, so welcome all. Proud to be here for you. Hope you will enjoy the show. If Cornelia wants to start, we are ready.
Okay, I guess if we're ready to start, I will go ahead and start the bidding here on this hand. Now, West can see the dummy. So all of you should probably be kibitzing West if you want to see this from the point of view of where the problem is. If you're kibitzing West, you see only your hand in the dummy. What is it that you see about to happen in this hand? How is Declare going to make this hand? Exactly right. Declare is going to set up diamonds and then run them for 5 tricks. After knocking out the ace of diamonds, you've got 5 tricks to run over there. How can you stop Declare from doing this? Okay, the ace of spades is his entry, right? Especially if you're in West, you know where the ace of diamonds is, and you know you're going to get in. But the problem is, how do you take out the ace of spades? Because you don't want to give up your king of spades. It's a good trick, right?
So, what would you replay as West?
If you play the king, are you giving up a spade trick? Very, very likely you are. So why would you want to play the king of spades? Because you are trading one spade trick for 4 or 5 diamond tricks. You can stop the diamonds if you can knock out that ace of spades. Anyone know what this particular play is called? It's called the Merrimack coup. It's where you deliberately sacrifice a winner, like the king of spades, in order to prevent entry to a long suit in the dummy. Even if West didn't have the ace of diamonds, he should probably still do this because his partner might. And it really doesn't cost anything more than an over trick, even if Declare had the ace of diamonds. Whereas if Declare doesn't have the ace of diamonds, it sets the hand. All right, so now what happens if I duck this? Go ahead and play the next card, Jean-Luc. Does it help me to duck this? Only if I think Jean-Luc is silly enough not to lead a spade again. So once he leads another spade, there goes my entry to the dummy. And as long as he pays attention to the signals and wins his ace of diamonds at the right moment, I can never use the diamonds. So those of you who are sitting west on this hand were in the hot seat. You were the one and only one who could figure out when and how to beat this hand. Now, East, of course, should be giving a count signal at this point. Whether you play standard or upside down doesn't matter as long as you give an accurate count signal. So West knows the right moment to win the ace of diamonds. And now there's absolutely nothing that North can do. 5 more tricks is all there is. Yes, I get the queen and jack of spades. And notice how West throws away that diamond. No chance at all to get thrown in and have to put me in the dummy. So if the defense doesn't do this correctly, I get So you should pay attention to this. Whenever you see a long runnable suit in the dummy, especially if you can see that you have a control of it, take out the entries. Okay, Jean-Luc, then if anyone has any questions, feel free. Otherwise, the next hand is yours.
Okay, my turn now for part 2. The expected contract was 4 spades by East. Here, East has a problem. He has a good hand, but not strong enough to put the game. So, the trial bid is okay. Now, West has a problem. He has good hand, a good raise, bad clubs, but he doesn't want to signal in 3, so he can relay in 3 diamonds. Now East is happy and makes the 4 spades bid. Now, South has a problem. He must lead. A stiff spade is not good. 1 ace is not good. Under lead an ace is worse. So, Queen of Diamonds is correct. now dummy is visible, declarer can count his winners, six spades, and 2 diamonds. So he's too short. Where will he find them? King of Hearts is right, but after the beginning, I think King of Clubs will go to guillotine. Thus is marked with all points. Here's the As, so a direct finesse to the King of Clubs doesn't work here. You have to try something else. Let's go. Notice here the 10 of diamond by north to signal he has a 9 if Cordelia wants to communicate. Time to find the extra in her now. Now you have to prepare an end play. Look. Turns are, as usual when I play, not 2-2, but doesn't matter. Now is the apotheose. When north is not allowed to cover, what would you play now? Right. I discard the club and now Cornelia, who is not dangerous for me, is in hand and I will wait for her switch. she's in hand and she plays clubs. My king is in life or heart. Write on this card. Okay.
Very nice hand. I love end plays. I just hate being on the receiving end of one.
Questions? Next? Here, contract expected was for spades by South. North invites with his raise 3 spades and about 10 points. Sus is maxi and accept. The lead is Jack of clubs, and now South has to count his winners or losers. How many can you count? Yes, 5 spades and 3 aces. So, he's too short. Let's go. question, do you take or do you duck? Second question, what is your plan? Okay. You don't touch because a diamond switch is too dangerous. It will be the killer. So I take. New question. S of heart or small? Now, normally, the defense knows what is the declarer's plan. So, West wants to avoid declarer use the dummy. So, he wants to kill it. And we play a club to force dummy to us. So, do you ref? No, because I am dead. So, I will discard a loser. Now, West can replay as he wants. I am home. Oof, I'm lucky today. Hearts were 3-3. So now I have to go to dummy in right tempo. So I have to play 2 spades from hand and take the third with ace. So here I had to set up a shooting dummy. Fortunately they were 3-3, so I have to play 4 rounds, one more than longer shoot opponent. So I have to keep entries to the meet to play 4 times. Okay? No. A Trump lead doesn't set the contract. I just put small in dummy and I play same. Small heart to small heart, and I set up by the ref and I end in dummy in 3rd round with ace.
So the key is keeping that 3rd trump in the dummy as your entry to the hearts later.
In fact, no league can defeat this contract. Only bad players will go down. Sorry for those who were off.
On this hand, there are a lot of ways to get to the right contract. Originally, I put in simple Gerber. Jean-Luc pointed out that not many people in Europe play that, so I'm sure you all have different systems and different ways to do this, but we'll just go ahead and play it as a Gerber hand. And then 5 clubs would ask for kings. and of course promise all 3 other aces. Okay, so you should all be kibitzing the west seat this time. If you aren't, switch over to the west seat so you can't see all the other hands. Kibitz just the west seat and see what's going on here. When you start counting tricks, you can count 3 spades, 3 hearts is 6, 2 clubs is 8, and 3 diamonds is 11. You might get the 13th spade, but that still wouldn't be enough, so you have to bring home the entire diamond suit. Well, if the diamond suit splits 2-2 or even 3-1, that's no problem, right? You cash right out all your 13 tricks, 5 diamonds, 3, 3, and 2. So what can go wrong? The diamonds could split 4-0. How many of you have ever heard the rule about a 9-card sit missing the jack and 3 more, that you lead the double honor first? How many of you have ever heard that? Okay, well, in general, if you're missing jack 4th, then the rule of thumb is in your 8-card set, you're going to have the ace queen in one hand and the king in the other, 2 honors in one hand and 1 in the other. You lead the double honor first. So if you lead the ace first, then you get to find out if they split 4-0. But there's a catch to that. When you are missing the jack and 10, if you're sitting west now and looking at just the west cards in the dummy, think about what happens if south has jack 10 4th. If south has all 4 diamonds, can you pick them up? The answer is no, you cannot, because you only have 1 card in your hand, namely the king, that could beat the jack and 10. So you have no way to beat the jack and beat the 10. So if south has all 4 of them, you are simply out of luck. But what about if north has both of them? Could you pick them up then, if north had all 4 diamonds? Yes, you could, because you have the ace to beat the jack and the queen to beat the 10. So how do you have to play this hand? You have to play it as though north had all 4 diamonds. Because if south has all 4, it doesn't matter. You can't do it. And if they're split 2-2 or 3-1, it doesn't matter because you'll always make it. So the only thing that could go wrong that you can take care of is if north has all 4 of them. And if you play the ace first, then you no longer can get the jack and the 10. So the rule is when you are missing jack and 3 small, you play the double honor first. Then you could finesse either direction. But when you are missing the jack and 10, you play the single honor first. And now I find out that split is in fact bad, but I am in a position to go ahead and finesse both the jack and the 10. And now everything else is good. So this is a card combination that all of you should know. When you have a 9-card set missing the jack, look and see if you are also missing the 10. If you are missing only the jack and 3 small, you play the double honor first. It doesn't matter if it's the ace, the king, or the queen, just one of the double honors first. If you are missing the jack and 10 fourth, then you play the single honor first. This is a really important card combination because it's very frequently your trump suit or your long suit at no trump, as here. So, any questions?
Next. Here, north with 7 cards, even red against white, must open 3 hearts. Don't open a weak 2 with 7 cards, and no need to upgrade to 4 hearts here, there is no extra. count his coloring cards. 2 spades, 2 clubs, 1 diamond, 1 heart. 3 and 3, and 6 and a half, 12 and a half. So, he wants to play a small slam, even the round. Over a preamp, no need to have normal answers to Blackwood. Normally, the opener never has 2 aces. So, 5 clubs is 0 ace. 5 diamond is 1 ace. 5 hearts is 2 Ks, 1 ace with king of trump or queen of trump. 5 spades would be 3 Ks, 1 ace and 2 Ks in trump. Now, Fuss knows enough to bid the ground. He knows ace and king of hearts facing this good hand. Now, East must lead. What have you been taught to lead against a Grand Slam? Yes, we can see here small diamond would be the killer, but who would lead under this king of diamond? Maybe Fantoni, maybe Nunes, but till I am not champion of the world, I would lead Trump. How many tricks can you count? Yes, 12. So, I am just 1 short. Maybe I will win this grand. Where shall I find my 13th trick? Can I rush a loser from my hand in dummy? No. No. If I rush a diamond in dummy, I am done before because I have to lose. even queen or king. So I have to try something else. Yes, clubs. I need only one discard. So let's go. But before I have to keep 5 entries, because if clubs are 3-2, I have to play 4 rounds, but if they are 4-1, I have to play 5 rounds of clubs. Always one more than the longer suit opponents. What must I play now? From Jimmy? Yes. Spades to discard my 2 clubs. And now I have to set up my clubs, but I have to keep the king to be in the 4th round to play now the 5th. So I am going to rest small. So it is my 2nd round of clubs. I go to Johnny. Here is why I might keep the queen in 1st trick. Third round of clubs. Now I clear clubs. And finally, I reach Johnny by the ace of diamonds. Fourth round of clubs, king now. And 5, where I will discard my loser and I will make my grand. questions?
On this hand, I would like all of you to kibitz the entire hand so you can see all four hands. I think it will be helpful to see from both points of view of the declarer and the defense. And I'll start right out by talking about the bidding. I was pretty amazed at the number of people who bid with the west hand. With 7 flat, junky points, and your partner opens low, no trump, you have no bid but pass. Okay, so let's look at this from declarer's point of view for a minute. We can count 4 clubs and 2 spades. And they've led a spade, so it's going to be really hard to set up any more tricks in any of the other suits. If you look at the red suits, you have a queen third opposite jack third or fourth in each of those 2 red suits. If you as declarer lead either of those suits and the ace and king are split, you are not going to get a trick in either hearts or diamonds. For one thing, let's suppose just for example, you look at the diamond suit, you get to the point where you need to lead a diamond, so you lead the 3 of diamonds toward the jack. North wins his ace or king, and he could lead back a diamond. South wins the ace, and they cash a bunch of diamonds. Same thing would happen in hearts. So as declarer, you cannot get a red suit trick if the red suit aces and kings are split, unless there is one and only one way that you could get a red suit trick And what would that be? If the ace and king are each split, the only way you can get a trick in the red suit is if the defense leads a red suit for you. If the suit splits 3-3, that's not going to help you because you're going to have to give up a whole bunch of tricks to get that 13th card in the red suit. And meanwhile, they're going to cash the ace-king in the other red suit. So they will get 7 tricks before you do. No, you must make them lead a heart. Sorry, lead a red suit, heart or a diamond. So you should see that right away. Now let's look at this from the point of view of the defense. Each of you is looking at either the ace or the king in each red suit as defenders. You can see in the dummy Jack third and Jack fourth. So you should be able to see, even if your partner has an honor in a red suit, if you lead it, you are pretty much guaranteed to set up a trick in that red suit that you lead. So as defenders, you should do everything you possibly can to avoid leading a red suit, and you should be able to see that. So, any questions so far about how to handle the red suits? If your partner does not have the king, if he has the queen instead, and you lead the red suit, you are still going to be setting up a trick in diamonds, or in hearts for that matter, either one. If your partner doesn't have the other honor, the one that you don't have, then you're still going to be setting up a trick in the suit. Now in this hand, the defense has the ace and king, which really makes it a declare play problem. But from a defensive problem, still, even if your partner has the queen rather than the king, you're still going to help the defense set up, the declarer set up a red suit trick. Okay, now let's go back to looking at it from the point of view of the declarer. Here you are in the east seat, counting 6 tricks, and you need to get the opponents to somehow lead a red suit for you. Because if they do, you're going to get a trick in that suit. So how can we make that happen? That's exactly what it is, Jane. It's an end play. You have to do something that forces the opponents to lead the suit you want led. But how can we do that? There's an old saying about no trump. A beginner player takes his 8 tricks and loses the last 5. An expert loses the first 4 tricks and takes the last 9. So in some sense, what you said is kind of right. In no trump, you generally want to lose your losers early if you can. But in this case, it's probably, you don't want to do that immediately. You're not going to want to duck the first spade trick, for example. Because if you do, you're going to end up having to lead a red suit yourself. All right, so we're back to the question. How can we play this hand as declarer so that we force the opponents to lead a red suit. Well, the first thing you should notice is that if you count your losers, the ones that the opponents can cash, you can see they can get the ace king of each red suit. That's 4 tricks. And however many spades they can get. So letting them win a trick is the right answer, but which trick do you let them win is the key here. If you duck the first spade trick, you will win the king. You can cash your clubs. You can cash your ace of spades, but eventually you will have to lead a red suit yourself. And then they will get 3 tricks in that suit and 2 in the other. How many spades did South start with based on the lead? I know you can see all the hands, but just look at the lead and tell me how many spades do you expect that South started with? When somebody leads the deuce against 3-no trump or against no trump, it's usually a 4-card suit. So that means the spades are split 4-4. So does that give you any clues? How many spade tricks are the opponents going to be able to get? So the opponents can get 2 spades, 2 hearts, and 2 diamonds if you don't help them get any more. So there's a total of 6 tricks, leaving you with 7. But how do you get them? There you go, Eileen. That's exactly it. You're going to win your black cards and then throw the opponents in with the 3rd spade. They can cash their 2 spades, but then they have to lead red suits. Now, there's a little bit of trickiness here, and that is after you cash, say you cash when your king of spades, ace of spades, and 4 clubs, you're going to be in the hand without any spades. Once you've cashed all your clubs, you will have no way to put them in spades. So you have to do this in the right order. So tell me, what order do you play your black cards? Which spade do you win right now? Okay, if you win the ace of spades now, cash all your clubs and the king of spades, you are not going to be in the hand with the spade that you can use to throw them in. You must keep the ace with the long spade suit for your last spade trick. Wouldn't you hate it now if all you had left in the dummy was the king of spades? Play your king of spades and have to lead a red suit? So that's the reason why you need to save the ace of spades till later. So now you can lead the spade. Give them their two spade tricks. And now South is forced to lead a red suit because that's all he's got. And no matter which suit he leads, no matter how many aces and kings they cash, eventually you have to come to a red suit trick for your seventh trick.
Okay. She unplayed me. Okay, well done, Cornelia.
So it's all about counting your tricks and recognize that here you have to count your tricks, recognize that you need the opponents to lead a red suit, and notice the two of spades means that you can afford to use the spade as the throwing card and let them have their two spade tricks.
No question? Next? This has a problem. With such a hand, it doesn't have to raise now in direct. So, waiting with 2/1. Now, this can raise with a Flemish bid, 3 spades with a jump. It's never limit. He would have raised 1 spade, 3 spades, or something else, 1 spade, 2 nut trumps, or something else. Now, West has a good hand, a 6 spade, unexpected for his partner, 1 ace stiff in heart, club in the primary suit of his partner, so he accepts the Flemish bid. With a worse hand, he just had to bid 4 spades. Now, East knows about all of the hands because of the 4 clubs, so he can bid 4 more traps. Six hearts, then is a diamond control. No king, so the small is enough now. North have a problem. What to lead? Clubs? Sounds wrong. Diamond? In second suit of Declarer? So, finally, Trump is not so bad. As usual, how many tricks have you? Okay. So, I have just one to find. Where? Okay, in clubs. Let's go. Did you count my entries? Okay, since I have them. So, I begin by unblocking my Ace of Hearts. Then, go to dummy, in trump. Maybe they are 2-2, but with my unluck, maybe they were 3-1, but doesn't matter. I pitched my small clubs to shorten the rough, because I have some risk to be overroughed. And now, those are the problem. He is squeezed. Even he discards his Jack of Hearts, defense doesn't communicate anymore. Even he discards a club, the suit is set up, so he has to discard a diamond. In fact, I am surprised nobody thought about finaces twice in diamonds. It's a reasonable line, no? 55%. Both king and queen in north are separated owners. In fact, here, they were both behind the dummy, so it was not the right line.
Finessing the diamonds twice would be a 75% chance, whereas the squeeze is 100% chance. So as long as you can recognize the squeeze is there, it's a better play. Okay, while he's doing the bidding, I'd like everybody to please kibitz the west seat, so you can see the hand only from west's point of view. So change your profile so you, or your seating thing so you can see just the west cards right now. Okay, so we are in 3-0 trump, and as west, we're on lead. Certainly, fourth best in your longest and strongest suit is well known, and in this case, that would be clubs. The fourth best heart would be a terrible lead, and clubs has got some chance of setting up some tricks. What's the problem with leading a club from this hand? Well, someone's worried about finessing my partner. That I don't care about. I want my partner to play his highest club and try to set up some club tricks for me. But the trouble is, once the clubs are set up, I don't have an entry, at least not a very good one, to cash them. And looking at the dummy now, you can certainly see that hearts is never going to be an entry. So I basically don't have any entry to cash the club. Well, clubs is a good lead in the sense that I'd like to set up the tricks and cash them, but how am I going to be able to cash these club tricks once they're set up? Okay, so my partner did right because he led back, he had 3 originally, so he led back his now highest club after he wins the king. So I know that Declare has another club, and almost certainly my partner has a third club. Not guaranteed, but very likely. So how am I going to, if I win this ace and knock out the last club, how am I ever going to get in to cash them? That's right. You have to preserve your entry to your suit, and the only possible entry you have is in clubs. So that's the entry you have to preserve. If you win the ace of clubs and play another club, you're taking out partner's last club, and you are simply never going to get in to cash those other 2 good clubs. How many people who played this hand won the ace and then sat there and looked at their last 2 good clubs for the rest of the hand? Fess up. How many people? Well, I can't help it if your opponent didn't play 3-0 trump. But I looked at the results. One and only one person ducked this trick out of the, let's see, 8 who had the opportunity. One and only one ducked it. So congratulations to June. Now, you sit back and you wait, and you hope that sooner or later your partner is able to win a trick and has that third club to lead to you. You can try to make your Jack of Hearts an entry, but the chances are pretty slim. So sitting here in the West chair, you don't have any idea if your partner has a diamond winner, a spade winner. Just have to hope. And thank you very much, partner, for having that third club. So anytime that you're defending no trump and you're trying to set up a suit of your own, just make sure that you have the entries to use it and protect those entries. Don't win them too soon, whether it's in the suit, as on this case, or even in a side suit when you have the chance. Don't grab your only entry until your suit is set up. And thank you, Jean-Luc, for helping out with my hands. It was a great tournament. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something.
No, I am just to thank you for your both, your explanations to be here. I have to thank all our players and our spectators to assist. Maybe next time.